Hey guys, Mark here with SweatyPixels.com, and I'm here with Arnie at the with Naughty Dog at the PlayStation booth at PAX East 2013, and we are here at the Last of Us booth. Arnie, so tell us a little bit about Last of Us for those of us that might not know about the game yet, and just a brief synopsis.
Sure. The Last of Us takes place 20 years after a fungal infection has basically decimated civilization as we know it. So government's gone, sort of every sort of order that we're aware of is gone. And there's groups of survivors that exist, and they're all under the constant threat of each other and sort of what they'll do with each other, and also with humans that have been infected by this fungus. And The Last of Us really is a story of Joel and Ellie. Joel was originally tasked to smuggle Ellie out of a quarantine city, which takes place in Boston, which is actually the demo that we have here today. And various things go wrong, and it turns into a journey across the United States for the both of them, sort of how their relationship builds.
Okay, so I mean, just from the outside looking in, that's pretty much not typical of any past zombie or survival horror game. You guys are taking the whole country. I think that's pretty cool. But aside from the large scope, what would you say makes Last of Us stand out? From the rest of the genre, the Resident Evils, and all the other zombie games out there.
Well, there's a few interesting things. I think one of the things that as anyone that might know Naughty Dog games are, it's like we're very much about character-driven narrative. We're focusing really a lot on both the relationship between Joel and Ellie and the relationship with other human survivors as well. 20 years in the future, resources are scarce. People make different choices to try to survive, whether it's kill or be killed, or they'll try to work together. So there's going to be this huge focus on human drama, and sort of what that's like in this future, and sort of how people build their relationships, and how meeting new people in the relationships go. So you're going to see a lot of focus on that, and that's a little bit sort of what the Naughty Dog pedigree is about. One of the interesting things we've done is we're really sort of taking this survival action feel to the game. So survival really sort of being what does it take to survive in this type of world? Are you going to be are people going to be brutal? Are you going to be brutal in return? Are you going to try to work together? Are you going to scavenge for supplies to try to craft new items? And then sort of the action part is the combat's we're taking a little bit varied way with how we're approaching combat. It's going to be a mix of sort of fast-paced and slow-paced action. AI is a really big focus for us, especially with human survivors. There's a little bit of a sort of a balance of power AI system going on, where other human survivors will know what weapon you have. They'll have an idea of who has the upper hand, and they'll react accordingly. If you have the upper hand, they'll try to sneak behind things and flank you. If they have the upper hand, they'll be more aggressive and sort of try to have more of a stand-up fight. And then throwing into the mix, you're also fighting against infected characters. So there's different antagonists that you're facing, and the infected, there's a huge life cycle for them. We're showing off 2 here in the demo.
Runners and clickers.
Yeah, the runners and clickers. So there's different strategies to approach them. It's going to be a mix between sort of cat and mouse stealth to more stand-up, gun combat or melee combat.
One more quick thing about the game itself. You mentioned choices. Do you have any kind of reputation as far as if you always murder other humans you encounter, or if you always choose to help? I mean, will those kind of choices affect you long term, or is it just in that moment?
Right. It's more. I mean, what's happening in the game, it's more in that moment. So Naughty Dog is really focused on creating a linear narrative and then building a game that provides as much choice as possible in different ways. So there's a set story we're trying to tell, because having really sort of controlling the pacing, controlling what's happening to you as a player emotionally, and we're trying to get you to react emotionally or bond emotionally with the characters. So we do have a linear narrative because we want to control that. We want to make you feel certain things at certain times.
Gotcha. All right, very last question. When can we expect Last of Us to hit store shelves?
It comes out June 14th this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Arnie, and thank you, Naughty Dog and PlayStation. And I'm looking forward to the game. See you guys.